Hey guys, what's up? It's Wolf Airsoft Gaming, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the GBLS GDR-15. So here we have the GBLS DAS GDR-15. The name is a mouthful, but this rifle represents a lot of technology and innovation that is brand new to the airsoft market. There's a lot of cool features in this gun that has presented itself as the best option for military training and law enforcement training weapon that airsoft offers currently. So with that being said, I did purchase this rifle for my own personal use. The contents of this box alone that we'll go over is a little over $2,100 or $2,200, and yeah, there's a lot of good stuff to go over with this. So with that, we'll get into the unboxing. So these are the 5-pack of magazines you can get. 5 magazines for this gun cost $200. And additionally, I got 3 extra for a total of 9 magazines for the GDR-15. Okay, so going over the rifle itself first, you can see it's got the system here, all of the stuff. There are partnerships with PTS that creates most of the furniture that you are going to see on this. The internals are all done in-house by GBLS. They're all, I think it's like 70-50T, CNC'd machine. Internals, the externals are the same thing as the real steel. Cerakote finish for an immaculate finish. I mean, it's literally a firearm that you put in airsoft internals in, and now it's a toy. Or training replica, more or less. Or a very, very expensive toy. Nonetheless, let's get into the actual box of the GDR-15. Okay, so inside you're going to see the GDR-15 manual. I mean, this is extremely nice. They also have this is available on their website. Full color English instructions, very easy to read. And for this replica, you will be needing to read the instruction manual. We have the GBLS patch, which is actually really, really big for a patch. And you know, their slogan, "Let's get real." It's also in white, so you might not wear that out in the field, but nonetheless, this is going on the patch wall. Included, you do get your 30 or 60 round adjustable mid-cap magazine, or low cap, you might consider it. These are very similar in design to the PTW magazines, but nonetheless, they are proprietary to the GBLS DAS GDR-15 system. Here you've got they include a custom 3D printed Speedloader Adapter. This isn't for an Odin, this is just for a regular Speedloader Adapter, much that you would find in a gas blowback rifle. They also include the correct Allen key for the hop-up adjustment, and we'll get into the details of the hop-up later. So on the lower receiver, there's not too much to go over here, but let's just get into it. From the trademarks, DAS GDR-15, the Airsoft millimeter 5.59 or 9.5. The quality of this lower receiver is extraordinary. It's just like the real steel counterpart, AR-15. It's incredible. The Cerakoted finish is flawless. You know, you can't scratch it with your nail or anything. None of that. Flawless. I mean, you can't get a better external finish. This is nothing compared to VFC as well. This is much, much superior to VFC, and I've had almost every gun VFC has put out. Bolt catch, mag release, all that fun stuff. Really quality components here. All very quality metals. They're all have that finish on it, all the external parts at least. The fire selector, which is very firm, but not too firm. It's got that divot, so they do click in place very nicely. You're not going to have that fire selector sliding around. It's going to be fixed into position no matter what. Down to the pistol grip. I believe this is a custom. I don't think you can interchange this with normal AEG grips, but I could be completely wrong with that. This does have, very similar to a version 2 gearbox, the motor is housed in the pistol grip itself, so this isn't going to be a gas blowback rifle or real steel grip compatible item. But it is made by PTS, and it's a very nice grip. You've got the stippling here on the side, texture on the back, and they include this sticker that says do not adjust the motor height adjustment screw. They do that at the factory, so you don't have to worry about that. And we'll go ahead and just take that off. And one thing that I guess I'm just more of a personal fan of the PTS series of grips is the nice little golden adjustment screw, even though you're never going to use that because it comes from the factory with that. To address the rather, I don't know, prominent issue of the tape, that's a California thing, which is nice to know they do that from the factory. So if you are in California, they even add that extra compliance. But here in Florida, we do not live like that. Well, we're big boys, so we can have that tape off. And we'll go ahead and do that to the stock. Kind of wish they didn't put it on a, $2,000 gun, but whatever. It cleans off easy, and rather be legal than sorry. So the stock is an EPS stock by PTS, obviously. They also do the Centurion Arms handguard that we're going to go to later. It is fully adjustable. The stock is not compatible with I take that back. The stock is compatible with real steel stocks. You just have to make sure you can fit all the wiring and everything else in there. And I will say the stock is excellent for the GDR-15 due to the battery space that it includes. So go ahead and pop off the stock here. Very nice, butt plate, rubberized grip on the back. And you can see one of the best features. It also includes stock Deans and a automotive style fuse. So, in case for whatever reason it's drawing too many amps, you don't blow a MOSFET and 100 and something, or maybe it's even more than that. Electronic trigger unit, it's a simple, couple cents fuse in the back. And of course it's already wired to Dean, so it'll accept all your batteries. Important note about the battery, this only accepts 11.1 volt light poly batteries due to the high amount of amp draw that this takes. I mean, you can't really even pull the bolt back, or at least it's very difficult to. But yeah, so only big boy batteries for this gun. Okay, so this is going to wrap it up for the lower receiver, and we'll go ahead and get into the upper receiver right here, which they package separately and not connected, probably for shipping reasons, I'm not sure. So yeah, part technology down here, the other half is, and the more important half I should say, at least outstanding to see, is in the BCG, and we're going to get in that in a little bit. So of course you have your non-functioning, or your mock, we'll just call it a mock, forward assist here, actually functions. Again, this is firearm grade steel. I'm not sure if it's the same that the parts are machined out of, the T7058 CNC or aluminum or whatever, but it is very nice quality, again Cerakoted. So you've got your dust cover here. I don't think, it does lock into place, so that's useful, and that's about it for that. So in the Centurion arms, this is an M-LOK rail system. This is, I believe, a 9 point something inch rail. This also comes in a longer variant that includes a 14.5 inch barrel or rail system, I'm not sure which. Obviously this version is the CQB version that houses a 270 millimeter inner barrel. So more about the rail system. This is the shorter one, obviously. Does not feature numbering on the top of the receiver anywhere, although it is monolithic, which is very nice. You've got your ports here, again at the 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions for all of your M-LOK attachments, which I prefer out of Keymod, M-LOK, all of that. I've discovered that M-LOK is a very good system to use. The rail also includes 2 QD swivel points on each side of the rifle, or the rail rather, which is really nice. It does not have a plate here that you can attach your sling to, so you might have to get either a real steel spec or Airsoft spec. I'm not sure. the buffer tube seems to be an exact 1-to-1 mil spec with the actual buffer and spring, of course, a spring modified in strength. So you might be able to use a real steel plate for that. But onwards from that, you've got your standard required by law orange flash hider. It's a nice material, but again, most likely going to go. The hop-up it uses is full CNC machined. It is the equivalent of the Novrich SSG-24 hop-up or the Max Pro unit as far as quality goes. And by that I mean you have a CNC chamber with a grub screw. Again, that's different than the Max SE, but so you have your grub screw to adjust it, and on top of that, the hop-up arm itself is made of full CNC material. So you have almost zero tolerance, which leads to extreme consistency, and it's an extremely nice system. Especially with the grub screw, you'll never have to worry about your hop-up adjusting itself. And since it's so finely tuned, as soon as you have that sweet spot, you're never going to lose it. So that is one great thing about this, which also qualifies it potentially for an excellent DMR or sniper setup as far as the hop-up unit is concerned. Important to note though, this has a WA style GBBR hop-up chamber. It does accept AEG buckings and AEG inner barrels. So that's a very, very smart decision on their part. So you can use all aftermarket inner barrels with this gun. Moving on to the very realistic Bcg Bolt Carrier group. You've got the actual gear that's not actually pistons on the Bcg itself. A full CNC air nozzle there, which is great. You're not going to have like WE has plastic ones that snap and all that. Very high quality material there, and yeah, overall outstanding. It tells you how to lubricate it and everything, your 4 application points, and all of that. It is also important to note that this charging handle here can be interchanged for any real steel charging handle. So we'll just go ahead and slide the Bcg back into the gun, close the dust cover, and now we'll get to an overview of the rifle itself. So we have the gun here, out of the box, assembled and everything. The receivers, the upper and lower, fit extremely nice together. There's no wobble between the upper and lower receiver. It just fits almost exactly. The receiver pins themselves have retaining pins that allows them to stay within the body, just like an actual AR, so they're not going to slip out upon assembly or disassembly. Magazine release and magazine feel is extremely solid. It's a very tight fit, very satisfying click for insertion, so you know the magazine's in. The magazine itself is also textured. It's got some type of finish on it, but I would also like to say that the material itself is not metal, it's not plastic, it's some kind of hybrid maybe, but either way, just like the receivers, you're not going to be able to scratch it with a nail or nails or anything like that. It's a very nice Cerakoted finish, and you get what you pay for. Same external Cerakote finish process as an actual AR-15 firearm. So down to the Bcg, it's very difficult to cock back manually. The electronic system actually racks the bolt automatically. The piston releases just like a bolt-action sniper rifle would. Same way, pulls back, it's caught by a sear. The trigger has about a 5-pound pull, so it's sharper than an average AEG or anything else, any other airsoft gun. Because it's that realistic training platform, just like an AR, it does have that heavy trigger pull. So when that's pulled, the piston's released, and the electronic system cycles the Bcg back to lock the piston back again. Moving up to the rail system itself, again, it's a very beautiful rail system. Centurion Arms 9.5 M-LOK rail by PTS. They did a great job with it. It fits for monolithic upper, which is great. I went ahead and attached a flash hider of my choice instead of having the black stock one. And of course the attachments here are just very basic attachments that I'll be using tomorrow at the field to get the first impressions of the operation and performance of this gun. My only complaint, if I were to have one, about this rifle assembled so far is the stocks kind of wobbly, but that's a PTS part, and also that's extremely nitpicky. Like, it's not a problem at all. Although taking a second look at this, it's important to note that you do have these 4 QD mounts at the front, and you also have 2 on the stock, as well as other options to attach a sling. So if you want to do a 2-point sling, you can do that right out of the box. If you want to do a 3-point or a single-point sling with the mounting plate, you can do that as well. I prefer 1-point sling, so I'll have to look into a plate for that. Operation of the bolt, kind of give a quick rundown here. You can pull the charging handle back, it's just difficult. So you have the handle back here. You can see the BCG is locked to the rear. This is similar to a gas blowback rifle or actual AR-15. Put the charging handle back. You can see that this has come out here, and just press it in, slams forward, and the piston is locked to the rear. Now if I go ahead and fire the weapon, which I won't do because it's against warranty, but the piston would just slam forward and it wouldn't cycle back. So there'd be no recoil, nothing like that. Recoil is purely electronic. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for the externals of this rifle. Put together, it's a very nice and solid gun, and I'm very impressed with how it feels in the hands and the overall product quality, internally and externally. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Wolf Airsoft Gaming and a review of the GBLS DAS GDR-15. If you guys have any questions about the system or gun, leave them down below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Thank you guys so much for watching and for the support. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.